Today's one of them days where I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just tired. It's actually a rest day from the gym. And usually I go to the gym and I kind of get more energy towards the day. But today's just one of them days where I don't feel like, getting up. I don't feel like moving. I don't feel like doing any of those things. And, you know, these are also one of those days where I'm also like being really negative towards myself about just majority of shit. Like, oh, I'm not there yet. I'm not where I want to be. I'm trying to get to this place. But it's just also another one of those days where where you just wake up and everything's just negative around you. But I've had this feeling before and I know how to get out of it. So I'm not really worried about it when it comes. But I know a lot of people, they'll have these days and they'll let it define the actions that they do during that day. And this is why most people actually don't succeed at all at anything, is because they allow how they feel during the day to dictate their actions, when you really need to let your actions dictate your feelings. Because if you are feeling any type of way, if you do feel like, life isn't going the way you want it to go, or you are not happy with the way you are, the way you look, whatever the case may be, if you're going to the gym, if you just started your gym journey, you just started your financial journey, whatever the case may be, if you have those days where it's just like, oh, my external reality is really pissing me off today, you have to actually dig deep on doing the actions that day. It's actually the most important days. The days where you don't want to do shit. The days where you're not feeling yourself. The days where you just wish you could just lay down. The days where you wish you don't want to talk to anybody or anything like that. Like, I got my whole family at the house right now, and they asked if something wrong with me. And really, I'm just kind of tired. I don't want to talk, but, I just don't feel like talking today. I don't know why people find that an issue. I just don't feel like being that, like talking, especially in the morning, and everybody has a whole bunch of questions for you and everything, and asking you what you're doing. And I'm not explaining to anybody what I'm doing anymore. Like, I'm just done. And like anybody close to me, you ask me what I'm doing, I'm just saying I got stuff to do. Like, I'm just not gonna answer the question. So hopefully they just stop asking me. I have stuff to do. Like, it's just like it gets really annoying when somebody keeps asking you something, and they just don't pick up on the context clues. Like, you don't want to talk about what you're doing. So, but it is what it is. But the reason I say these are the most important days, because I used to have these days all the time. I remember, like, even back when I was playing basketball every day back in high school, and I remember I'd get up in the morning and I just didn't want to do it, but my dad would force me to go, and I would just hate it, and I would really go through the motions. And I used to think that discipline was just doing something and then going through the motions of doing it. Like, you don't want to do it, and you're doing it as if you don't want to do it. But I realized that discipline is not going through the motions. It's doing things as if you love it when you don't want to do it. Going to the gym and lifting that weight as high as you possibly can, even though you don't want to, are the most important days. Like, the most important things you can do. That's a true person who is disciplined. Someone who can get up regardless of how they feel. Someone who can do what they have to do regardless of what day it is or how they're feeling that day. Those are the most important days. And I've seen, like, even though I don't have any external true results, I see so many internal results in myself. Because just a year and a half, 2 years ago, I would even say even a couple of months ago, because I made a whole bunch of changes within a year and a half. I started off a year, but it's been a whole different person from the person I was now to the person I was a year and a half ago. And I remember, if I didn't feel like doing something, I just would not fucking do it. No matter if I was supposed to do it or if I had or if I didn't. I just would not do it. And it never even crossed my mind that I'm supposed to be doing things that I don't feel like doing, which is kind of crazy. Discipline never crossed my mind. It was like, oh, I don't feel like doing that today. This is not what I'm on. It's my feelings are most important. And when you put your feelings first, especially as a man, that is the most selfish people the most selfish man in the world is a man who puts his feelings before everyone else. The most selfish man in the world. Because nobody gives a fuck about how you feel. Nobody gives a fuck. especially as a man. Like, people get so mad and men get so bitter about the fact that they have to be useful in order to hold a place in society. And I sit there and think, nigga, what the fuck did you think you were supposed to be? You thought you could just exist? You selfish piece of shit. Like, some of these men really mind boggle me. Like, it's just crazy to think that some people just really get up and do what they feel like doing, and then they wonder why their life is shit. And when you are the type of person who only does things you feel like doing, you are also the type of person who blames others for your environment, because you've never taken accountability for the things that go on in your life. You know? And this is also me talking to myself. I used to be that exact guy who never took accountability. I can never say that fucking word. Accountability for shit. I used to never take accountability for anything, bro. But, you know, I'm a little bit older now. I'm about to hit my 30s. And I think when you get to the age of around 27, 28, 29, I think, like, those are the most kind of confusing years of your life. Because when I was 16, 17, bro, I thought when I was 27, I'd be a fucking billionaire. I really thought that. I thought I'd be a billionaire. I thought I'd be fucking probably married with kids, big ass fucking house. I thought that's what I would be at 27. You know? And I'm nowhere near that. Which is okay, because I took accountability for the fact that I did not put enough work in my early 20s in order to succeed when I was 27. And I'm starting to put the work in now, but I know a lot of dudes, bro, a lot of people, just women, men in general, who will see that they're not where they want to be, see that they're not where they want to be in life, and then they'll blame everybody else for the reason they are who they are, you know? And I see this shit all the time with a whole bunch of people. Like, they'll get 30, 40s, and they'll just say, oh man, I'm not here because people was holding me back. Oh, I didn't finish this. Oh, I had this issue. Oh, I didn't have the time. Oh, it just never worked out for me. Oh, those things don't happen to guys like me or girls like me. Like, I've seen this from so many people who just give up and blame everybody else for their circumstance. It was just never, I just could not do that, because I feel like that hurts me more, to think that there's some sort of force or uncontrollable force in the world holding me back from where I want to go. And I just can never think like that, bro. I can never be that person. You know? But taking accountability for the things that occur in your life is probably it's gonna hurt at first, but you're going to eventually realize that once you start to take accountability for the things that go on in your life, you're going to love the fact that you did, because you're also gonna realize that you are the person that can fix it as well if you take everything to your fault. You know? Like, even though that happens, I did pass my, certified personal training course, and I got my certificate this weekend. I've been going to the gym every day. I've been drinking water every day. I've been hitting my macros every day. I haven't drank. I haven't smoked. I haven't watched porn in a year and a half. I've fought in all the urges. I've retained myself. I haven't been lusting over stupid bitches. I haven't been just sleeping with anybody. You know, I'm trying to get to the point where I can just be celibate, you know, because of my religion and stuff like that. But, you know, it is difficult. It is difficult. You know, but just as a man, bro, like, you always got to remember that. Take everything as your fault. Also, the days when you are not motivated are the most important days. The days when you don't want to do it are the most important days. You're going to have maybe 5% of the time you're going to want to do it, and 95% of the time you're not going to want to do any of this shit. And the thing with it is you may not want to do it. Most people, it's not that you don't want to do it. You just have so much anxiety to start. the thing. So like I didn't want to start this speech, but now that I'm 5-6 minutes in or whatever the case may be, I'm in flow state. Like I don't even care about the time. The only reason I check about the time, I just don't want to make sure my camera fucking died. You know. But yeah, that's mainly it. And you know, it's extremely important to, you know, the days where you're tired as fuck, you wake up tired, things aren't going your ways, you posted maybe a whole bunch of YouTube videos, or you have a business and you've been failing, you haven't seen any results for days or months, and you're just like, man, is this even for me? Should I quit? Like, those are the days that separate the people from the people who make it to the people who don't make it. The days where you're so frustrated. Can you walk and operate through the pain of frustration? Can you operate through the frustration to keep doing what you have to do in order to get where you want to go? Most people, most successful people, they're not more skilled or talented than you. They just kept going when shit got fucking difficult. You know? That's all they did. They just kept fucking going when shit got fucking difficult. You know? So once you learn to keep going regardless of the feeling you have inside of you, then you'll move. And this all starts off with dropping the vices, bro. You have to drop the vices in order to hit the state of mind of someone who can do something he doesn't feel like doing it. Because it's gonna start off, if you're a weed smoker, or if you're a drinker, or if you're a porn watcher, or you happen to play a whole bunch of video games, or whatever the case may be, if you have any of those habits, you have to start off by dropping one of them. And the time you really want to go do that thing, you have to, that is the most important time where you make sure you don't do that thing. Because that's going to prove to your mind that you have control over it. The reason a lot of you motherfuckers don't have confidence is because you don't keep your word to yourself. The easiest way to have confidence is by saying you're going to do something and then doing it. That's the easiest way to have confidence, by saying you're going to do something and then doing it. Yeah. The people with the most insecure people, the people who lack the most confidence are people who say they're going to do something and they never do that thing, or they never go complete that action. Those are the most insecure people. You know? And I used to be one of those people, so I'm not really, I like, don't be frustrated with yourself. I used to be one of those people, bro. Everybody who's successful, you know? But, like, today's Memorial Day, it's Monday. I got work tomorrow, you know? And, hopefully I can get this second job this week. You know, and if you're young, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, you want to get on your shit now, because you don't want to be playing catch up when you get older, because it's not the best. It's not the most fun thing in the world, bro. You know, you should always be self-improving, but you want to start your self-improvement journey early. And if you're older, in your mid-30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever, it's never too late to change. You know, you live one life. You might as well change. And it really only takes 6 months to make a complete turnaround in your life, bro. It takes 6 months, and most people don't even realize that. And they did this study. I forgot what the study was, but I read it in this book. It's called The Power of, I think it was like The Power of Habit, or one of them shits, right? And it was talking about how this lady, I forgot her name, but this lady, she was the worst person at her job. She wasn't making any money. She was fat as fuck. She was smoking cigarettes every day, and she was just depressed every day, and she just wasn't where she wanted to be in life. And she used to smoke cigarettes like all day, every single day. And then one day she just got really tired of it. She got really tired of it, and then the first thing she did was she dropped the cigarette. So she dropped the first cigarette, and she said, I'm never smoking this again. And she said, I'm not smoking any cigarettes for the next 24 hours. So she did that day. Then she did it again the next day. Then she did it again the third day, 4, 5, 6. After a couple of weeks, she was so proud of herself. But again, once you drop one thing, once you drop one bad habit, it's just a cycle. It's just going to push you to drop more. So what she did was she started going to the gym. She stopped eating bullshit. She started looking for better jobs. She started figuring out ways to make more money. Fast forward a year, 2 years later, she's in a whole different position than she was. A totally different person. That's why I say, bro, once you drop the first habit, that's how you start off. And then you keep dropping all of the bad habits after that. Life is just a bunch of fucking habits. We're all a bunch of habits, bro. The person with the best habits is the most successful. The person with the worst habits are usually the least successful. So you have to make sure all of your habits are intact in order to succeed. You have to make sure all of your habits, play a part in every single day. So if you want to get up early, start getting up early. If you want to start going to the gym, start going to the gym. If you don't want to smoke, don't smoke. Don't drink. Start going to the gym. Start doing some deep work when it comes to your business. Start figuring out a way to get yourself out of your 9 to 5. If you have anxiety about your 9 to 5, to get rid of the anxiety, you need to work on something that's going to get you out of that 9 to 5. Instead of just sitting there. And I tell people this shit all the time, but most people are not going to understand when you make a change. So you have to make this change and keep it to your fucking self. Right now, people keep asking me what I'm doing when I go out, or what I'm doing, why I can't make this event. And I just say I got shit to do. And they're going to keep asking, and I'm going to keep saying the same fucking answer. I have shit to do. I don't feel like explaining to most people why I do certain things, why I can't, because it's just like, I don't want to hear your opinion on what I'm doing. What time is it? So, always remember, the days you don't feel like getting up, the days you don't feel like doing what you have to do are the most important days. The days where you don't want to do it at all. The days where you really want to go watch porn or whatever, and you don't do it. And you go, instead of watching porn, you go take a jog, or you go run, or you go put that sexual energy into something that's conducive to success, to you succeeding. The days when you really want to drink, the days when you really want to smoke weed are the most important days, where you tell your mind, I'm not going to give in to you today. The devil is is putting his best hand in trying to bring you back to the person you used to be. But you have to remember that God is always with you. And when God is always with you, if you have a true faith and you have a true belief in God, he's gonna be that little thing in your subconscious mind telling you, yeah, bro, don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bro. And that little thing, I don't think that's just a subconscious mind. I think that's a higher power trying to guide you the right direction. I genuinely believe that. So if you go towards that right direction, or if you go towards that person, if you go towards that subconscious mind that's leading you towards a more positive act, then you beat the devil that day. So instead of thinking it as just weed, think of it as the devil is pulling me back to this point that I don't want to be at. The devil is trying to put me in this position that I don't want to be at. And that's with any vice that is holding you back, bro. Any sort of useless dopamine that is holding you back. Remember, it's the devil that's going to lead you back to this life, because he doesn't want you to level up. He doesn't want you to become a better person, because the more you self-improve, the more you show God that you're proud of his creation, and the more you get closer to God instead of getting closer to the devil. And if you read the whole Bible, the Bible is literally the key to life, bro. You can read that one book and understand exactly what you need to do in order to live a very fulfilling life. you know. So I want everybody. I'm gonna just leave everybody with that, man. Just like I'm so glad I did it today, because I really, because fucking 3-4 minutes into this video, I really got to the point where I would. This is the only place I wanted to be. I wasn't even paying attention to time while I make these kind of videos no more. But I did not want to start this video at all. So if you're at the position where you don't want to do something, where you don't want to start, because that's the most important thing. All right, so I'm gonna leave everybody with that. You know, push yourself through those phases where you don't want to do something, and you know,